guys, it's Kelly with Embroidery Nurse. So I wanted to talk to you today about how you can share the different fonts, the different monogram styles, and the thread colors that you have available for your customers. So it takes a little bit of organization in the beginning, and of course you have to build up your library of different fonts, what monogram styles you like to use, what work best, what thread that you gravitate towards, what colors are the most popular for your embroidery and the things that you generally do. Those things take a little bit of time, but just start kind of cataloging those things for yourself, writing down the ones that are the most popular. Write down the ones that you don't like, that don't stitch out well, because guys, there are some fonts out there that just don't stitch well. It was a huge lesson in the beginning when I bought my second embroidery machine. I really was kind of doing a lot more monogramming, doing a lot more custom work for customers, and I took my machine in because I was so frustrated. I'm like, this thing does not work. Every time I put this monogram on here, the thread breaks. I don't understand it, and the owner just basically looked at me and was like, it's a bad digitized font. I'm like, what do you mean? I bought it on Etsy. So it was really quickly shown. She was like, I've done this for years. This is a really bad digitized font. Oh, okay. So I did. I learned really quickly. I thought it was either user error or something was wrong. I was ready to turn my machine back in, but really it was just I bought a font that was not digitized that well. It was too dense, and it was just going back over and over and over itself, and so the thread would break after multiple times of passing over the same area. So she taught me that. She taught me that not everything you buy on Etsy or from Digitizers is always going to be the best fit. So I've learned that, and I've tried to take those things out of my library once I realized they might not be a good one. And then with time, you find the Digitizers that you trust wholeheartedly. Don't even need to do a sample stitch out, although you probably should with everything. But once you find those digitizers that you feel 1000% confident with, because you time and time again have used their designs, then you feel much more comfortable purchasing them in the future, recommending them to others. And I have my favorites. I'll list them below. I have several favorites, and I have several trusted digitizers that I go to for different fonts, for different appliques, for any of my needs. And I'm still finding great, beautiful new ones. So and they're continuously creating and digitizing new fonts as well. So that's fun. You never will have a complete library because it is ever growing, and that's just part of embroidery, and that's fun. There are your tried and trues. There's some that are just going to be your staples that you use for 50% of the jobs that you do, and I'll share some of those with you as well. If you haven't taken some time to look up canva.com, Canva.com, I will link it below in the show notes. Canva.com, you can create for free all different kinds of things with pictures. You can create business cards, you can create pamphlets, you can create Instagram posts, Facebook posts, anything, Pinterest posts. It will size them for exactly how you need for those. It's got lots of different templates to use, and that's actually where I created my different monogram, thread, and font charts. So super simple to, you can save colors. So if you have brand colors for your business, mine are pink and gray. If you can even see my sign up there. So you can even see my sign up here. I actually made that, let me see if I can do it up a little higher. I actually made my logo and everything on Canva. So that's pretty cool. And then, I had someone kind of make it a little more professionally. So it could be the transparent, so I could use it on all different kinds of media. But anyway, Canva.com is going to be very helpful to make these charts for you. What I'll try to do is do a on the computer tutorial of how to make a font chart, basically on Brilliance Essentials, pulling in each of the fonts and creating a picture of that. With that picture, then you can take it to Canva and put in any more information that you'd like. So let me show you the ones that I've created. I've got these, and this has been very handy too. It's a piece of kind of plexiglass that is more for like a picture frame. I take this with me whenever I go, you know, to a show, or when I go embroidering, you know, in person, because this has, you know, my font choices, my monogram choices, and you flip it over and it's got all of my thread choices. So this is very convenient. I refer to this all the time. And what's amazing is, you know, on Canva, you download each of the things that you make, and I've saved them on my phone in my favorites folder. And anytime anybody ever asks me, you know, to do something for them, I quickly send them all 3 of these things. Boom, boom, boom. These are gonna be the first 3 things I send them. And I'm like, absolutely, I can do that for you. Please let me know what your font selection and thread color choice are. And they have it all right there. It's gonna save, you know, communication back and forth. It's just really, really, really helpful to have these that you can quickly pull up, that people can reference. Because if they say pink, y'all, there's 15,000 pinks. You've heard me say it before. I hate pink, not really, but kind of, just because there's so many different colors of it. So let's start with the fonts. So sorry if there's like a glare. I'm going to try to hold it up so it's not too glary. Basically, and I will, this is what I will show you on Embrilliance Essentials, how to create this. I have taken each of the fonts that are my favorites, and I have put them, you know, this right here was made on Embrilliance. And then I took this picture right here, took it to Canva, added my logo, wrote font options, and boom. Now it's a customized font chart. You know, and this changes, you know, all the time. So that's why it's great that I've done it on Canva, because I can go back and reference the one that I first made, change it, add to it, take the ones off that I just really don't like. Like for instance, I really like this sports one, but people want to put it like on a onesie. It's not what it's meant for. That's more meant for like putting it on a, you know, a sports bag, an athletic bag. It's way bigger than this, you know, showcases it. So, you know, that's just a one, you know, hard, and this one called teeny. Well, it's teeny, but on there it looks as big as the rest. So some people don't realize, you know, that some cannot be, you know, aren't the right size for the project that they're wanting done. So that's an example of the font chart. Here's an example of the monogram. I'm sorry, I should have figured out a way to make this less glary. You know what? Why don't I just take it out so it's not behind the plexiglass? That is my monogram chart, and I do change this. Sometimes I'll change it depending on where I'm going, because there's some of these that are not as quick. If you're looking at this arabesque, which is beautiful from Apex Embroidery, it takes a little too long to do on the spot. And it doesn't size well for certain things, or size as well, because it's a little bit bigger, so it doesn't shrink down. I can't do it on, you know, it doesn't look as good on the side of a polo, but people really gravitate to that one, but it takes longer. So there are times where I just won't even include that on my chart, even though I love it. I love that for linens and pillows and things like that. It's kind of busy on some other things, but these are the ones that I love. And so I've kind of narrowed it down. Now, do I have 10 million more? I probably have, you know, 50 more. I probably have 100 more of these, but I've kind of narrowed it down to the ones that I feel like are the most used, that people can find. You know, they're simple. There's some boy options. There's some just run-of-the-mill, always go-to when it comes to interlocking and master. And then there's some unique ones on here that you might not see everywhere, when it comes to, you know, like the ribbed, which I love, infinity, the fishtail, which has become one of my favorites. That's from Apex. I gravitate towards that one because it stitches so nicely. So this is just an example of how you can kind of make a chart that you can share with others. I have this chart on all my Etsy listings as well. All 3 of these pictures right here are 3 of my pictures out of the 10 on Etsy, any Etsy listing that I have. Because that helps narrow down, again, some of the communication back and forth, because that's so time consuming. I don't know if you guys felt that in your business, but half the time I feel like I'm going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Well, what thread color did you want? Oh, okay. Well, what font did you want? Oh, okay. Where did you want to place this? Okay. You know, and sometimes that just takes away from just actually doing the work. So this one I love. It took me a long time to have this one made, but this is a thread color chart. What I love about this is specific for my Floriani thread that I use. These images were actually taken off of the site that had Floriani thread on them. So I'm going to zoom in up close. If you look really close, if it doesn't get too blurry, you can see it's actually a picture of the thread. So I love that. And each one, you know, has its name underneath it as far as what it is. Now there's a couple on the bottom down here. Y'all, I renamed these. People want to know, you know, what is your silver, your platinum and your gold. I use a lot of those when it comes to doing, I do the silver, platinum, and gold when it comes a lot to the linens and stuff that I do. Like if I do linen napkins, the linen placemats, and people just want, I just want gold. Well, I don't think the color is called gold with Floriani. I think it's called like golden sand or something like that. But I just changed it so it's easier. This is my version of what I feel like is a wonderful platinum. Is it called platinum with Floriani? No. Most of these names are exactly what Floriani uses because they're pretty tried and true to what they are. Lemon, shell, burgundy, fuchsia, neon pink, robin's egg blue. I didn't change any of those, names. So this, again, so handy to have so that you can quickly hand it off to somebody, through, a message on Etsy or a message on Facebook Messenger, just in an email. Keep this in your favorites folder so that you can send this to customers and it is done. Sometimes this is overwhelming as far as how many are on there. So you might, if you go to an event, just shrink it as far as you pick the colors that are best with the items that you're going to have on hand. For instance, when it comes to my Christmas pajamas that I do each year, I select 4 colors: white, black, red, green. Let me know which ones. I select 2 monogram options and 3 font options. I narrow it down and I will say these are the 2019 Christmas embroidery options. I've never had anyone say, oh, but wait, I really wanted that other one. They don't. They understand this is the smaller amount that you have to choose from. Sometimes is a lot easier for people. So just kind of play around. You might have several different charts that you might use for different things, but it is so crucial to have these easily accessible. And I just love this little plexiglass thing. I put both of them in there so I can just flip it back and forth when I'm at an event. Another thing to talk about when it comes to fonts. Some people are like, how do you buy all those fonts? It's so expensive. Some of them are and some of them aren't. All digitizers, everywhere that I buy them from, have just these amazing sales like throughout the year. You just gotta like get on their email list, just follow them on Facebook groups, and you can really a lot of times buy things half off, 60% off. I mean, they're throwing out sales left and right. So just always be on the lookout for that. Follow along with the groups, ask around and whatnot, and I think you'll be surprised. I've just found my new favorite, and I just worked on these today for my VIP sample group. The most beautiful monogramming font. I'm so excited. I can think of so many things that this would look so beautiful on. I'm going to show it to you. All the ones that I just did. So this is from ShulerStudio.com. If you haven't looked it up, her work or their work, it's a mother-daughter duo. Shuler Studio. ShulerStudio.com, and I'll put that in the show notes. They make just elaborate monograms, and I just love it. I do a lot of like linens and pillows and things like that, and y'all look at that. Isn't that amazing? And look how beautiful it is. So this was really expensive for me. I'm used to paying, a few dollars for different fonts. And this one was more like $69, I think, almost $70. And so I was like, oh my goodness, I don't want to keep just throwing money out there when it comes to different things without knowing what I was going to use them for. So I looked around my room here and I was like, what could I do? How could I get these? And so I found this pack of kitchen towels that has been literally sitting on my shelf for, I don't know, a year and a half with, ideas of things that I thought I was going to make with them and I never did. I've never even posted these. So they're just sitting there with no purpose. And so I was like, you know what? Why don't I do a VIP sample sale? Each one of these can be $10 for my VIP group, and I will put their 2-letter monogram on there. And so literally, guys, within 28 minutes, I had sold all 7 that I had promoted, and boom, I was able to buy the font. So these were just sitting around. Already got the thread. There was no money out of my pocket. It was actually money that I had wasting on the shelf. So I was able to, in 28 minutes, raise the money through, VIP sales, and was able to have these done. I mean, they are just gorgeous. And people jumped on them so fast, I literally had to turn the comments off because they're beautiful. This is the 4-inch style in PES that I use on my baby lock, but there's also a 9-inch style, and whoa, I cannot wait to do that on, you know, pillowcases, pillow shams, and whatnot. So beautiful. Now you have to buy the 4-inch and the 9-inch separately, so I'll probably have to do another sample sale to get that, but I mean, these are just gorgeous. You can even do, this person chose to do the same color, and it looks amazing. So these are individually done. So like you put in the 2 letters that you want, and they are individually intertwined. So you know, there's only one combination of D and H in the system. So it doesn't matter if their first letter is H or their, you know, the second letter is D. That's the only combination of H and D. So that's pretty cool too. They're interchangeable for how you do it. Some people will do it with husband and wife. So that could be like David and Kelly. It just depends on, you know, how you want to showcase it in your house. And the fact that you can do the 2 different colors, I mean, that's just so cute. She just said, you know, 2 colors of green. So anyway, that's just an idea of how you can invest in different fonts. Look for something that you already own. Throw up a sample sale. People love in my group to be called VIP. They love when it's a limited. When I tell them I'm turning off comments once I reach 7, it's like people were literally, one person posted on there and she didn't post anything other than her name. And, you know, I went back, I was like, so what initials, what color? She was like, I just wanted to make sure I reserved my spot before I lost it. And she was like, I figured I could come back with you once I decided on the color. So it's just funny. Like, people just love when it's a limited time. They love when it's samples. So there's just an idea of how you can kind of build up your inventory when it comes to font colors and not font colors, but fonts and monograms and styles like that. So have fun with it. Like I said, people are coming out with them all the time. I will link my top 5 digitizers below. So look out for that. You know, who are my go-tos when it specifically comes to, you know, fonts and monogramming. So I'll list those below. Definitely look up the Shuler Studios. I know sometimes they do sales. I've not caught one of those yet, but I did subscribe to their email list, so hopefully I can in the future. But hope that helps. Again, just, you know, really important to go ahead and create that monogram font selection, monogram, you know, monogram style selection, and thread color chart. And I will, in a video soon, I'll link it below once I finally get on the computer and do it. We'll go on Embrilliance Essentials and show you how you can create that yourself with the fonts that you own. If you have any questions, please let me know below, and I look forward to seeing all the fun creations that you're making, and let me know if you use the Shuler Studio one, because guys, it's beautiful. Hope y'all have a great day. Bye.